Hey y'all, it's me, your girl Amy. Welcome to the Restored Identity channel. Finally! What I've decided is I'm going to break down all of my wisdom, my tips and tricks into little series and seasons and episodes. I'm super excited about this. This episode is called Back to the Basics because that's what you're going to have to do. If you are ready to take that journey, to take your life back, to take healing into your own hands, we're going to have to go back to the basics. This journey started for me about 10 years ago now. I was at a church when a lady walked up to me and she said, "Hey, I have a prophetic word for you." And I was like, "Ooh, okay, give it to me, sister." And she walks up and she just says, "Colgate." And I was like, "The toothpaste?" She said, "Yep, that's all I got for you." And she walked away and I never saw her again. I remember being like, okay, whatever, Martha. I'm just going to put that in the old closet and I'll come back to it. So anyway, 2-3 years later, I'm sitting on the couch and I come across that prophetic word. And my thought was Colgate, toothpaste. And then I'm like, what are you trying to tell me, God? And he's like, what are the ingredients in toothpaste? I'm like, I don't know. So I get online and start looking up fluoride. Fluoride is the #1 ingredient that they use. So that took me down a whole rabbit hole. If you don't know the truth about fluoride, start there. It's going to blow your mind. So anyway, learning about fluoride led to, well, certainly if it's in our toothpaste, like, have you ever wondered, like, oh, call poison control if swallowed? Like, but we're brushing our teeth with this stuff? Like, hello? So anyway, I started making my own toothpaste. I healed a cavity in my mouth and I was like, come again. How does this work? So then that led me down the rabbit hole of lotions, perfumes, shampoo, conditioner, body wash. All of these things have toxins and they like build up, and it's our skin is our largest organ. And yet they're putting all of this crap in the things that we are lathering our body up with. Once I understand all the chemicals in our body products and all of that, then the Father led me into a journey about food, about juicing. I watched a documentary called Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead. There's 2 of them. There's a first one and a second one. Absolutely rocked my world. So then I went on a juicing journey and I juiced for quite a while, and I still juice. I love juicing. And once I learned about juicing and food, I was learning about pesticides and how much they wreak havoc on our immune system. And once I had a full grasp of food and juicing, then the Father taught me about herbs. And then he brought me to Genesis 1:29, where he said that he gave us every seed-bearing fruit there was for food. Like, we all know the story of how Adam was created. He was created from the very dirt. So doesn't it make sense that we would consume things that come from the dirt? Over the last 10 years, I have been going through these little steps, and the Father has been teaching me little bit by little bit, which, you know, I actually created Restored Identity 10 years ago. And at the time, it was a ministry where I traveled to churches and I shared my testimony with women. Little did I realize then that that is what this company would turn into. Healing people truly and intentionally. I had found myself at the age of 35 just absolutely sick. I couldn't get out of bed without feeling like my bones were going to break. Some days I was using a cane to walk. I was absolutely miserable. I never wanted to do anything. I was addicted to processed food because I just couldn't seem to let go of it long enough to get better. I decided one day that I was ready to make a change because I could not live like this. I was doing a bunch of research on how I could heal my body naturally, and I decided, you know what? This is what we're going to do. I started with parasite cleansing. As I went on, like the first 4 to 6 weeks were absolutely awful because I was doing heavy metals as well. So I felt really wonky and whatnot. But as I started going in this journey and I started heavy metal and parasite cleansing, my body just started to do a complete turnaround. At one point in my health journey, they thought I had MS because my symptoms were so bad. By the time I reached the 3-month mark, I had energy that I hadn't experienced in a long time. By the 6-month mark, I was feeling pretty daggum good. At a year, I don't know that woman 12 months ago. I'm now at almost a year and a half, and I feel the best I've ever felt in a very long time. I have a mental clarity that I have wanted for years. My hormones are regulated. I never used to know because I had PCOS. I never knew when I was getting my period. It was always a roller coaster. I lived in constant ovarian pain because I had stage 1 endometriosis. My stomach was always bloated and I always looked 3 to 6 months pregnant because I just had an awful gut. My entire life, I had an awful gut. I spent most of my life extremely constipated, not being able to go to the bathroom. And if you don't know, you will learn in this entire series, if anything, life and death begin in your gut. The first thing before doing any cleanse is what we are going to teach you is that we must open up the pathways and get these toxins out. So having a smooth moving colon is essential to everything. If we continue to treat our bodies like crap and we continue to put this stuff and these chemicals inside our body, it's going to build up and eventually we are going to get things like cancer, diabetes, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's. We have the ability now to take control and start to heal our bodies and turn this ship around. It's time for us to realize that food is medicine and medicine is food. Hippocrates was right when he said that. Let food be thy medicine and medicine be thy food. And we are what we eat. I ate pork and tuna growing up like it was going out of style. And I was constantly sick. During my journey, I learned that in Leviticus 11, it says that, God actually gave us a list of foods that are clean and not clean to eat. Some Christians will take this whole, you can eat any animal you want clean to the bank, but the proof's in the pudding. Pig bottom feeders. I mean, they'll eat humans. They will eat anything. They will eat it all down to the bone, but the bone. So we have to remember we are what we eat. That's why it's essential to eat grass-fed beef, grass-fed chicken, grass-fed turkey. Isn't it funny that all of the animals that the Father said we should eat, they're all vegetarians? Come on now. Now I know this is an overwhelming process, and for some of you, you're scared to death because you've realized the truth about everything that's going on and you're ready to make a change and you just don't know where to start. Don't worry, we got you covered. So I know we had a lot of basics to cover in this first episode, but the most important thing that we want you to start thinking about is your toothpaste, your body wash, your shampoos and conditioner, your hair care products, your lotions, your sunscreen, all of that. Go ahead and start taking a look at it and see what's in it. Google a few of the ingredients and see what you find. Next week when we come back, we're going to talk about starting the detox process. What is a parasite cleanse? What does it consist of? We'll have some pictures for you. Don't forget to like and subscribe and turn on your notifications so that when these videos come out, you'll be the first to get them. And leave your comments and your questions below because we would love to answer them and help you all continue to heal and grow. And remember, we are all in this together. If one of us is sick, we're all sick. So let's come together, build a community that is ready to help heal each other. Much love. Shalom.